What is going on, people? I am here for, if you couldn't tell by the title, another review. And if you couldn't tell by the title, the movie I'm reviewing is A Score to Settle, starring Nicolas Cage, Carolina Wandra, Mohammed Kareem, Benjamin Bratt, among many others. Anyway, this movie was sent over to me by the people at RLJE Films. They were nice enough to send me this to review. This movie actually doesn't come out till September 24th, 2019. So if you're watching this beforehand, you got about 2 weeks before it does come out. If you're watching this after, it's already out, so check it out. Anyway, if you're wanted to know, I always leave the link for the trailer in the description, as well as where you can purchase it. Anyway, besides the people who are in this, like I said, Nicolas Cage and Caroline Wandra, I went through it. It's directed by Shawn Ku, and it's written by Stuart Newman. So pretty much what this whole movie revolves around is Nicolas Cage's character, who is Frankie Carver. Forgot his last name, but Frankie Carver, he is pretty much in his youth, he was part of a gang. And pretty much at one point in time, I guess in gangs, sometimes people will take the fall for each other, and I guess going to jail really isn't that big of a deal. So what happens is he goes and takes the rap for the leader of the gang, and he thought he was only going to get a specific amount of time in jail. It ends up being he ends up getting more. He ends up getting 19 years in prison, and he finally gets out. Not only did it take 19 years of his life, but he gets diagnosed with a pretty much life-threatening disease. So when he gets out, all he wants to do, well, there's actually two things he really wants to do. He wants to rekindle his relationship with his son. His wife passed away, and it's pretty much all he has left in his life is his son, besides the gang, of course. But he wants to rekindle whatever relationship he had with his son. And the other thing that he wants to do when he gets out of prison is go after the people that pretty much set him up for this now new life, or the 19 years that he ended up in prison. The people who set that up. So now there's pretty much two storylines going on throughout the movie. It's one, like I said, building a relationship again with his son. You see all this craziness that goes on. And then, of course, the other thing is throughout the movie, he's plotting and planning and all this stuff to go after part of the gang that wronged him. And there's certain people he's after, especially the boss who, the leader of the gang that pretty much made him end up serving 19 years. So throughout the rest of the movie, it's just like two different types, I guess you want to call it. It's part action and like gunfights and all this stuff, and then the other side is more like entertaining and thrilling and stuff like that when he's doing this stuff with his son. Let me just say, with this, besides The Rock and Con Air and stuff, I never really saw Nicolas Cage as like an action star, I guess you want to call it. But in this one, he, especially the past couple movies he's been in, he had that, craziness of, if you've seen Mandy and Mom and Dad and stuff, you realize, there's a switch that Nicolas Cage just turns on and he goes full out crazy. There's certain scenes in this movie that he has that style to him, I guess you want to call it. But for the most part, it's more, I guess, possibly because of the disease he has, and pretty sure it's more of like an insomnia kind of deal where he has to take all these pills and stuff to kind of keep him, one, alive, and two, kind of functioning. So throughout the certain parts of the movie, it goes up and down, his craziness and stuff like that. But towards the end of the movie, it has a nice little twist to it that, as I was watching it, I watched it a second time to kind of look over and be like, okay, now I see. Because the first time I'm like, how did that happen, kind of deal. And then second time I watched it, I'm like, okay, makes more sense. You get a lot of those movies where towards the end it kind of just, it goes by you and you don't figure it out. But the second time I watch it, I'm like, okay, that makes more sense. There's a bunch of, certain featurettes and stuff on here. It comes with story and character on set and Sins of the Father. There's 3 shorter featurettes, and that also kind of gave me a little insight in the little twist that they do have towards the end of it. But let me just say, I really did dig this one a whole lot. Like I said, with Nicolas Cage, I always see him as like, just crazy Nick and all that stuff. Like I said, especially but this one, you feel for the guy. He was wronged, and then of course now he's on his mission to, take down the people that wronged him in his life. So it's a crazy, crazy journey that you follow him on, but I definitely did dig it. So like I said, what I always do is I'll leave the trailer for the movie in the description, as well as where you can purchase it, not only on Amazon, but on RLJE Films as well. If you enjoyed this review, definitely go ahead, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you did enjoy this review, and of course hit that little bell button so you know when I do upload more either reviews or unboxings or overview of my collection or whatever. But definitely go ahead, hit that bell button, and of course if you enjoy it and you want people to know I'm out, know about the movie and stuff, definitely hit that share button. And also in the description, I'll leave all my other social media links. I have a YouTube fan or Facebook fan page. I get a Twitter. I got an Instagram where I show off the movies behind me. I got a whole bunch of stuff. I'm part of the Dorkening, where we talk horror movies every Tuesday. So if you're interested in that, check us out. And of course, I guess definitely go ahead and in 2 weeks pick up this right here, this Score to Settle. And I guess until next time, I'll see you guys.